Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Res Indica IS Academy, Desh Badla Padhai Badlo. Today we will be talking about a very important flagship scheme that government has launched, that is called Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, or we also called as Samagra Shiksha Yojana. So this is a holistic scheme especially focusing on on improving the quality of education from the very foundational learning up to the class 12th. Along with that, we will be also providing a better help to the teachers under this Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. So it is a holistic development of the educational system, schooling system of our country, along with the teachers. Okay, so this is a very important scheme. That is why I have kept it in a totally separate lecture, because this has to be taught in a separate lecture, and then rest we will be all covering other educational schemes in various other lectures. So this has to be on a separate lecture. So that is why here we will be discussing only regarding the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Okay, so let's start with our session right away. So what are the challenges in our educational system? So we were facing a lot of challenges in our education system. Obviously the first challenge was the inequality, because the education is not accessible to each and every person of our country in a equal way. Okay, in the rural area, in the urban area, especially focusing on, like, if we have a government school, if we have a private school, private schools or urban schools are much more equipped with various infrastructure and everything. Similarly, like on the other part, if we go for any rural school, they are not having even the basic necessity. So there's a lot of inequality is there. Then we have a rote learning methods are there. Okay, teachers are asking the student to by heart. Okay, just learn the things. Okay, just learn the things. So there is no learn means they are just rote learning that is happening. What is written over there, they are just by hearting the things, and they are just vomiting out into the examination and whatever it is. And if somebody asks them the concept, there is nothing like a conceptual learning. Okay, so we are not teaching them any critical thinking skills. We are not providing them with any kind of creativity solutions. Okay, so this approach in learning is discouraging the innovation in our country, and the students are not having any problem solving skills, and they're just memorizing the facts, and they're just writing out on the papers, but they do not have any kind of problem solving skills that they require in the real life. Then there are high dropouts rates are there among the girls, because there are certain different special treatment has to be given to the girls as per their needs, because they are facing various issues like poverty, early marriages, lack of a school. The schools are having a very long distances, then various type of hygienic issues and everything are there. So because of that, they are being forced to drop out from the schools. Then outdated curriculum. So there are a lot of subjects are there which are being taught in the schools, but they are not being part of any type of technological or skill development that is required by the job market. Okay, like we are continuously focusing on the mathematics. Okay, basic mathematics is very good, but overemphasis on the mathematics is not providing any kind of help to the student who wanted to move towards the field of commerce or arts or anything like that. Okay, so it overshadow the things which vocational skill and entrepreneurship can require. So we are overemphasizing on something like science is there, so people are emphasizing science knowledge, mathematics, physics, chemistry. Okay, so some subjects are being overemphasized and less are being overshadowed. Then there is a lot of teacher shortages is there in our country, because we don't have proper qualified teachers, and especially people don't want to take transfers at these places. So quality teachers training programs, a lot of disparities of what has to be taught, what is the new things that is being required in the job market and everything, right? So there is a totally disconnect between what are the teachers teaching, what type of teachers we need, what type of quality of teachers we need, okay, and what type of learning we have to provide to the children's. Okay, then we have too much overemphasis on the exam. That means if you the main focus is on emphasis on exam, that means you learn and you just pass the exam, that is over. Okay, get into the premier institution, IIT, IIMs, and various other colleges are there, arts colleges are there, medical colleges, things are there. This has overemphasis on exam just to clear the examination, not about clear conceptual learning, problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, nothing like that. Okay, the pressure is always on the result. Health issues are being topmost issues like anxiety, depression. You might have heard of quota. There are people are doing suicide. Okay, the main reason of this is that they are being overburdened with exam pressure, test, peer pressures, and everything is happening. So because of that, they are into deep anxieties and depression. Okay, because there is intense competition for very limited seats in the prestigious colleges, so there is too much emphasis. So in that whole race, the people who are being above average, more than average, are getting sidelined by these type of people. Okay, then we have a lack of special education. In our country we have various students are there who are who have who are differently abled. Okay, so they feel excluded from the mainstream. Okay, because the school is lacking the basic facility that has to be provided to the people who are being differently abled. Okay, they are having some special needs and that has to be provided, but this is again, there's a lack of special education, lack of special support is being provided over there. Then there is too much digital divide. Rural urban digital divide is too much happening. People in the urban areas are having better knowledge of the digital tools, and the people who are living in the rural area are not having proper digital tool knowledge. Okay, so this provide them with the disadvantages because they do not have proper internet connectivity, they're not having digital devices. Okay, so this is how it will hampering their e-learning initiatives. Okay, so right now the various places, now the government is even providing the iPads, not iPad, sorry, iPad is very very costly. They are providing the tablets. Okay, tablets are being provided especially for education purpose, so they are being especially made on the order of the government, that they wanted to provide tablets to the people so that they can connect with the internet and do the online classes. So similarly, in my town only itself, they have provided around 509 tablets to the college going students. Okay, then there was too much privatization and commercializations that is happening of the education. You can see everywhere a lot of holdings and everything. From my classes, these type of people have passed out 90%, 99%, huge fees are there, toppers photos are being there. Okay, so this again create a kind of a pressure on a person who comes from a very very low income background. Okay, so the quality of education also varies. Okay, some provides a very good quality education, some do not provide very good quality education. So they focus solely on rote learning and exam preparation. Everywhere you go, they say that we have to make sure that we have to clear the cutoff. Every time the word cutoff, then exam. Nobody is talking about the clear conceptual learning, so that you can be part of a scientific community, you can do something in the STEM field, science, technology, engineering and management areas. Okay, and various other art form. You can go to journalism, you can go for cooking services and various things. So there is a lot of focus on privatization and commercialization of education. You can see everywhere now people are opening their channels, YouTube channels, coaching institute, because they know that if they are able to get the students, they will be charging very heavy fee. Then there is too much political interference is also there. Okay, so education policies are sometimes obviously that are being influenced by the political agendas. Okay, so maybe they are not in the best practices, but based on the political agenda, the government try to interfere with the education policy, which may not be consistent with the what has to be done. Okay, frequent changes of the curriculum, long-term educational goals, short-term political gains, or are being hindering the educational system of our country. Then we have around 21 22 scheduled languages are there, and many more local languages are there in our country. Okay, but the books are being made only on certain languages. Okay, so this again provide a barrier due to lack of proficiency in English. Anybody who is not knowing English, he or she may not be able to properly understand the way how the things work. okay, and they will be finding very very difficult to understand the work, and this will lead to the further deterioration of the quality of the education. Okay, so because there is over emphasis and over domination of the English that is there in our country. Okay, so though at the places like in the South India, non English speaking backgrounds are there, so this create a kind of an identity, and this also lead to the exclusivity of for the total the people will be outside the mainstream. Then there are a lot of gender disparities are there. Okay, especially girls in the rural area, they have faces lot of barriers. Okay, like cultural barriers, and boys favoritism are being done, sanitation facilities are not being provided in the school. Okay, then security of the path through which the girls used to travel. Okay, so because of all these things, there is a very very low enrollment and higher dropout rate that is happening among the girls. So these are very very important challenges in education system in our country. So here you can see like sustainable development goals are there. Under sustainable development goal number 4th is ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and prompt lifelong learning opportunities for all. Okay, so as per the United Nations, the world is falling far behind in achieving quality education, because as per the report, without additional measure by 2030, that means if you are not doing any measure, so by 2030 around 84 million children and youth will be out of school. 300 million students will lack basic numeracy and literacy skill of. Then only 1 in 6 countries will achieve universal secondary education. This is what is expected, that we will be having this by 2030. Okay, and there is a pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, which has further deteriorated the whole situation that we were facing right now. Okay, so there is low secondary school admission, upper secondary school and primary school. So there we can see that there is not much increase that is happening in the enrollment in the upper secondary school or lower secondary school or primary secondary school. Okay, so there are low and lower middle income countries are there. They are facing an annual financial gap of $100 billion. If they wanted to achieve the target of equitable, inclusive and equitable quality education, at least $100 billion per year has to be spent. That means this is not per year has to be spent. This is the gap they are having. They are spending, but exactly $100 billion is the gap, annual financial gap they are having, and that has to be filled if we wanted to find out any type of qualitative result that we wanted to see by 2030. So this is goal number 4 of our sustainable development goals. Now, what is the role of Samagra Shiksha in this whole process? So government came up with Samagra Shiksha Yojana especially in order to solve these issues that are being plaguing our educational system of our country. So this is like a integrated education scheme. Okay, so this will be addressing the various challenges. First of all, the main thing is that we have to focus on the holistic approach, everything like students, teachers, learning, digital education and everything. So that is why like digital education, we have teachers, quality, student, all these has to be put under the integrated and holistic approach. Okay, we wanted to bring them all together under a single umbrella, so that is Samagra Shiksha Yojana. Okay, under that we have a universalization of education, that is the prime focus, which is inclusivity and equitability of quality education. So universalization, that means from pre-primary level, from the starting level to a higher secondary level, that is what we are focusing. Earlier, this is all being separately divided into various different parts, but right now under Samagra Shiksha Yojana, pre-primary to higher secondary, everything is coming under the single scheme itself. So the main focus is on improving the quality by infrastructure, quality teaching methods, learning material, even training the teachers and teachers training under Nipun Bharat. Okay, that is all happening. Then equal opportunities, like you belongs to any of the socio-economic group, background, gender, location, or whatever the places you are. Everybody, even the remotest person, has to be included over here. We have to much more focus area has to be given to the marginalized and the disadvantaged largest section of the people. At the same time, we have to also empower the teachers along with that, because they are the people who are being the a person who will be imparting education and learning to the children. So first of all, they need to be trained first. Okay, so there is a provision for teachers training for their capacity building and also improving the teacher student ratio. It is not like that only a single teacher 100 teaching to 100 or 150 people. No, there has to be a quality teachers training ratio. That means one teacher can handle how many students. Okay, so this all has to be put under the focus area. Then emphasis on skill development. Obviously we know that there is the market and the job conditions are there. What job market is required right now? You know, in the school system they have a course on robotics, they have a course on entrepreneurship, they have a course on artificial intelligence. So right, this is the current job market scenario. So students of higher classes are being giving certain special subjects to read under these categories, so that whenever they are reaching or they are going for a higher studies, they have this skill set in their hands. Okay, and proper monitoring and evaluation. So there is a robust mechanism for monitoring and evaluation that will be there, which will be tracking the progress of all our educational initiative, and also it will helpful in ensuring the accountability and transparency of the whole process. So Samagra Shiksha Yojana. So Samagra Shiksha Yojana is a overreaching program which is from preschool to class 12th. Okay, so broader goals are being set up over here. So there are 3 schemes that are being subsumed under this whole, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, then Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, that is the what we call it as senior secondary, upper secondary. Then we have a teachers education training. Okay, so this was launched in 2018. Okay, so you know, in our country we have around 1.16 million schools are there. There are 156 million students are there. Then there are 5.7 million teachers are there. Okay, and there are aided schools are there from senior secondary. So this will be now the holistic schemes that will be working, especially focusing on this area. Okay, so this subsuming under these 3 schemes are being subsumed under that. Okay, so union budget of 2018-19 has proposed to treat school education in a holistic way, without any kind of segmentation from pre-nursery to class 12, other like pre-nursery to primary to upper secondary, and dividing them into a different day. Okay, so as a result, Samagra Shiksha Yojana has come into being. Okay, from preschool to class 12th. Okay, from the starting till end. So there are 3 schemes are there. So the school is a system which has to provide a continuum. Okay, that is why, because from preschools to primary school to primary upper school to secondary school to senior secondary school. Okay, so according to our sustainable development goal, is the scheme objective is to provide inclusive and equitable quality education. So this can only happen when you're providing holistic education without differentiating in various type of education, so that a person should know like he is into certain system. He is not going from one system to the other. Okay, there is a system from its pre-primary to the class 12. So this is a single system that is called Samagra Shiksha Yojana. Okay, so under that 3 schemes are subsumed: Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and teachers education schemes are there. So what is the objective that we are exactly focusing on that? Okay, so the main goal of Samagra Shiksha is to provide quality education, and learning outcomes has to be improved. Okay, and to remove or to close, we cannot simply immediately remove any kind of social or gender gap. So we are trying to bring in more and more to reduce, to close down the social and gender gaps, in equality, inclusivity. Okay, and providing some kind of a minimum standards in the school education. And main focus area is vocational training and vocation education. Okay, so this vocational part is very, very important, because whenever we say vocational training, that means we are focusing on providing them with some kind of technical education, right? So we wanted to prepare the students and learners for the jobs. that are based on some manual work or some practical activities or some traditional or non-academic related specific trade, occupation, or any kind of vocations. Okay, so this is very very important, because from here itself only we wanted to provide skill development to the people. Okay, and also in this whole process we wanted to help the states. So we know we have a fundamental right, that is called right to children to free and compulsory education under Right to Act. Okay, Right to Education Act. So that is why we wanted to upgrade the SCERT. The way we have upgraded the NCERT, we have to upgrade the SCERT. So there are a lot of aims that are there. Okay, so we have to assist the state in properly implementing the new educational policy, that is called National Education Policy of 2020. Okay, so again this is all being forwarded, and that is why this whole holistic system has been there, and this has been already formulated in the National Education Policy. Okay, so and focus on providing a right to education to each and every child, inclusivity, quality education, and proper better outcomes. Okay, and main focus is on early childhood and educational care. Okay, focus on foundational literacy and numeracy. That means during at a very early stage they should have a better foundational literacy and numeracy. Okay, otherwise if they are start moving into the further classes, if they are not having better foundational literacy and numeracy, they will be totally lagging behind in all the activity. Also holistic education, integrated education, everything holistic, by looking at everything integrated, means all things are linked together. Make sure that everybody is inclusive and everybody is not being feeling left behind. Okay, so activity based curriculum, that means whatever you are learning, what is there in the book, you are doing it with the help of an activity. Okay, and have a pedagogy which is reflecting the 21st century's ability. Okay, whatever the things that are there in 21st century, this pedagogy has to reflect this type of abilities in the students. Okay, then providing high quality education and learning outcomes, obviously bridging the social and gender gaps, equity and participation in all category. Then SCERT, DIET, that is District Institute of Educational Training, are a nodal agency for teachers training. Okay, so there is a DIET, that is District Institute for Educational Training. DIET is a very very important institution in every district, which is specially for the teachers training. Okay, and providing them with a safe, secure, and pleasant learning environment. Okay, that means the places like this has to be properly like if they like proper infrastructure should be there, proper learning outcome books are there, proper table chairs are there, then proper food is being provided to them, better proper books is there, and we have a smart classrooms are there. Okay, so this promotion English so promotion of education that is more vocational rather than the rote learning. Okay, that is what all are the are our objectives of the Samagra Shiksha Yojana. Okay, now we will be moving towards the features of Samagra Shiksha Yojana. So whenever we say what are the features, so how we are expecting that, how we are going to achieve the holistic approach in the education. So under the holistic education, first of all, we are teaching the whole school education from the foundational level to the class 12th, from preschool to class 12 as holistically. We are not thinking that okay, first of all we focus on pre-primary, then upper middle level, then pre-primary, then upper primary, then secondary, like that. No, we are treating that from this whole process. This is a child, this is the years, this has to be treated holistically. Okay, then here we have included senior secondary level and preschool level to support the school education for the first time. So here senior secondary and preschools has been included the first time in the whole educational system. So this is how we are moving towards holistic education system. Then what are the administrative reforms that has been done? Okay, so there will be a single unified administrative structure that will be created. Okay, you don't have to go to various places to ask for various type of approval and policies and everything. Okay, so flexibility has been given to the states to prioritize their intervention under the scheme. That means you can intervene at various places in this whole process. Okay, so that is the flexibility is given to the states. Okay, so there will be an integrated administration. So there will not be like, okay, for pre-primary you have to go here, for upper primary you have to go there, or for the senior secondary you have to go there. No, so this is like a integrated administration that was like a looking like a continuum. Okay, then we have a, here you can see holistic approach that we have seen for the first time. Administrative reform we have discussed. Now focus on quality of education, how we are focusing on the quality of education. Okay, so focus on 2 T's: teachers and technology. Okay, so first of all, if you wanted your education system to improve, you have to increase the capacity of the teacher. You have to build their learning of the teachers first. Okay, teachers, school heads, principals. Okay, so we have to strengthen the teacher first. So for under that category, SCERT, then diet will come handy. Okay, okay, these will come very handy, because these are the premier institute that are there in district level, which will be helping you to improve the quality of the teacher. Okay, SCERT, what they will do? Okay, they will be providing for in-service and pre-service teacher training. Okay, so the training survey have to be made very dynamic. What is the need, that only you teach. Then we have a support for Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan also. Okay, under that here we are focusing on Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan, where science and maths learning have to be promoted in the schools, where more and more students should have a kind of a critical thinking skills, scientific thinking and scientific knowledge skills are to be there. Okay, then also Padhe Bharat Bhade Bharat. Okay, Padhe Bharat Bhade Bharat, so for foundational skill at primary level. Okay, and the first time there is a provision for library grant has been for every school from rupees 5,000 to rupees 20,000 based on the size of the school. That means at every school there has to be a library that has to be created, and based on the size of the school, if it is only a very small, then 5,000 rupees grant, and if it is a big school, then 20,000 rupees grant will be provided. Then how we are focusing on the digital education under Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. So here under the digital education, first of all we are focusing on Operation Digital Board in all the secondary schools within an over a period of 5 years, because this digital board will be revolutionizing the whole way the teacher education has to be there. Okay, because there are a lot of under massive open online courses, we have lot of courses are there. Okay, you can even see that in your TV screen, government is running various type of online courses. Okay, they have a courses for NCERT, then state board courses are there, all are being run in the TV. So now with the Operation Digital Board, you can project them onto the classroom. Okay, through smart classroom, digital boards will be there. You can have a direct to house channel connection. Okay, so we have a digital initiative like UDISE plus Shagun, and this all will be helping in strengthening the whole digital education in our country. Okay, so ICT infrastructure, information communication and technology infrastructure is very much needed in order to improve the interest among the students, also to improve the quality of education. Then how we are going to strengthening of the school, like better transport facility across the children's from class 1 to 8th for universal access to the school. Okay, then there will be a composite school grant that has been given from 14,500 to 50,000 to rupees 25,000, 1 lakh rupees. Okay, based on the school enrollment, more and more enrollment, more and more composite school grant you will be getting. Okay, then you will be getting Swachhata activities provision also, so that your school remain totally Swachh. Okay, that is clean, right? Swachh Vidyalaya, clean school. Okay, then quality of infrastructure and government school will be also improving under that area. Then focus on girl child, that is specifically being mentioned, like we have a KGBV. Okay, KGBV, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, these are the residential schools. Okay, so from class 6 to 8 to class 6 to 12, okay, upgradation has to be done. self defense training will be provided to the girls in the upper and secondary primary. So here government is also enhancing the budget of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Andolan, right? You all have known regarding the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. So in Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, we will be also discussing that in a separate lecture, where we will be discussing all the schemes related to the girls, that we will be discussing separately. Okay, then how we are focusing on inclusion, because there is a special allocation for uniform has been given. Okay, right now from 400 to 600 rupees per child. Okay, now government is, at some places government is providing uniform, and some places government is providing money based on direct benefit transfer, DBT. Okay, government is providing, so you can buy the uniform from outside. Okay, and then there is a allocation for textbook under the RTE Act, where rupees from 150 to 250 rupees, okay, per child per annum. Okay, so this will again helpful in properly getting the textbook from the schools, and if they are not able to get it, they can buy it from outside, and this will only happen at this particular rate only. Okay, then there will be a allocation for children with special needs. Okay, that means those people who are differently able. Okay, so they will be getting 3000 to 3500 child per annum for their special needs. Okay, and stipend also will be provided of rupees 200 per month for girls who are having some special need from class 1 to 12. Okay, that means they will be provided rupees 200 per month every girl for their special needs. Then how we are focusing on skill development under the Samagra Shiksha Yojana. So under the skill development, there is a exposure to vocational skills. Vocation can be anything which can be employable. Okay, which make the people employable once they are leaving the school. Okay, especially focuses on class 9 to 12 childrens that are there, and this has been inculcated in the curriculum itself based on the industry. Okay, so this will further reinforce our Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Okay, because from the school only the students will be trained in various type of activities. Then focus on sports and physical education. Okay, Khelo India. Okay, we have a Khelo India initiative is there, where every village and every district is focusing on developing the sports ground. Okay, so sport education has also become an integral part of that, and every school will be getting around rupees 5000 for primary, 10,000 for upper primary, and 25,000 for secondary and senior secondary, so that they can focus on relevance sports activity. And how we are focusing on the regional balances, so we are providing these balanced educational development wherever, like we have a northeast area, we have a hilly areas, we have a left-wing extremism area, we have a area which are being prone to terrorist activities are there, border areas there. So they are all being inculcated under the 117 aspirational district program. Okay, so there are aspirational district program which are being called as one of the very backward districts of our country. So under that there is a holistic development of these districts will be happening under various schemes. Out of that, Samagra Shiksha is one of them. Okay, now how is the implementation framework of this Samagra Shiksha Yojana? So you know that this is a centrally sponsored scheme, okay, by the department, and there will be a single state implementation society will be there at state and union territory level, and at the national level there will be a governing council that will be headed by the Minister of Education, and there will be a project approval board that will be headed by a secretary, Department of School Education and Literacy. Okay, so this governing council, which is at a national level, can modify the program norms, and they can approve the guidelines and implement the various overall framework of this whole scheme. So that has been given to the governing council at the central level. Okay, so these modification may be based on innovation or intervention in order to further improve any kind of education. Okay, so this department will be assisted by the technical support group and educational consultant of India Limited. Okay, so they all will be providing technical support, how we can improve the access, how we can improve the equality, how we can increase the quality of the education, okay, of Samagra Shiksha. Okay, so there is a distribution of money, like whatever the money that will be sent through a scheme. So this is again being divided because since it is a centrally sponsored scheme, so there is a ratio of 90:10 60 is to 40, 90 is to 10 for states like northeastern states, then we have a hilly territories, and rest other is 60 is to 40. Okay, we have Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, these are 60s to 40, but those who are the special category like northeastern states, hilly states, left-wing extreme states are there, so they will be getting it 90s to 10, where 90% of the money will be provided by the central government and 10% by the state government. Okay, so the main focus is on two T's, teachers and technology. Now, all interventions have to be to improve the learning outcomes. Okay, norms are being there, proper accessibility has to be provided to various states and union territories. They are being given flexibility in planning and prioritization. Okay, so there is a student enrollment, committed obligations are there. Then schemes will be contributing in transition rate between level of schooling and encouraging universal access. Okay, so there are a lot of interventions are being there, that they should have a single training calendar of the teachers, how we can provide more innovation in pedagogy, how we can monitor and how we can mentor the people. Okay, especially focusing on the teachers education. Okay, so what is the role of SCERT? They will become a nodal agency to monitor all in-service training program, right? So this is how it has been making a whole process a holistic and integrated. Okay, now intervention, how the intervention, so the major intervention, how we are focusing on universal access. So what intervention is being done over here? So this is how we are providing intervention. So if there is any new primary school, they will be upgraded to the upper primary school. If there is a upper primary school, they will be upgraded to the to the secondary school. So like this upgradation keep on happening, and wherever the building is not there, so this will all will be sanctioned. Okay, residential schools will be opened and hostels will be open wherever there is inaccessible places are there. Okay, and whatever the existing residential schools are there, they will be further strengthened. Okay, so if anybody is there in class 1st to 8th, and any child who is having a special need, they will be having access to transportation facility or escort services. Okay, right? Then any school from class grade 1 to grade 12, they will be repaired, many major minor repair, whatever is there. Okay, so residential quarters for the teacher will be also made at a places where where it is very challenging to go over that places. Then assistance will be provided to out of school children also. This is how we are trying to bring universal accessibility to the education system. Now, how we are making gender and equity in the schooling system? First of all, we know Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalayas are there. Okay, so these are upper primary to the various levels are there, secondary levels are there. Girls hostels will be created. They will be provided residential and schooling facility up to class 12th. Okay, because they are being opened at educationally backward blocks. Okay, so they are focusing on one residential school for girls up to class 12th. Okay, then self-defense training, then environment building programs, motivation camp for ST students, enrollment, retention campaigns and everything. So children with special needs who are being there, they will be supported at each and every level of the school. Okay, and those who are not unable to attend the school, so they will be providing home based education to these students. Okay, so that means we are even able to reach home also. Home based education can be also provided under Samagra Shiksha Yojana. Then how we are focusing on the quality of education? So first of all, we will be doing national and state level student assessment. Okay, the education and learning will be happening in order to properly influence, where first of all the accessibility, proper equality, and after that only we can provide quality. First of all, let people access the education system, then make sure that everybody faces the equal situation in the classroom, then only you can provide with the quality education to them. Okay, so for that government will provide maintenance grant, school grants, library grant, which we have already seen. Okay, so quality improvement is must. Then if there is any problem that is coming, government will be providing them with counseling services, aptitude tests which are needed for right now at various places to get admission. So learning outcomes will be checked. Once we are able to check their learning outcome, then we will be also learning of providing various programs which are called as learning enhancement program. Okay, remedial teachers program, there will be remedial classes after the school. Okay, then we will be providing the bridge courses, anybody who has left the school in between, so they will be providing with the bridging of the courses, that once you attend these courses you will be at par with those students. Okay, then we have a Rashtriya Avishkar Abhiyan, focuses on STEM knowledge, science, technology, engineering and management activities. Okay, so this is a focus area, right? Then early reading efforts such as Padhe Bharat will be receiving the support. This is how we are going to improve the quality of the education services. Now, financial support for teachers' salary. Okay, so we will be supporting the teachers in upgradation of the school. Recently, I heard a case that where a principal has ordered all the infra, all the furniture of the school to be replaced with a new furniture, like if you it is a pre-primary, then provide with colored chairs, and then for teachers you should have some better chair quality. Okay, there are some special teachers are there, so they need certain kind of special support. Okay, so innovation in access, equality and quality has to be provided. Then digital initiative, ICT initiative, we have a smart classroom, we can have a tablet study. Okay, right now in some schools what is happening, there is a principal who is having only 10 to 20 students in their class, so the principal is showing their classes in their mobile phones. Okay, so that is also one way you can show the classes. But yeah, now the teachers are, now government is providing a lot of funding, so now now if you go to the primary school, you may be seeing the digital classboard, digital classroom at various places. Okay, create e-content, electronic content, digital resources, PDF books and videos. For that we have a Diksha portal is there, we have massive open online courses are there, so you can create digital learning tools so that the person who cannot come to the school, they can learn from by sitting at their home. So make that capacity building for them. Now, what are the RTE entitlements? What are the RTE entitlements? So under right to education, they are getting free uniform, free textbook, they are getting reimbursement for expenses that has been incurred for 25% of admission, specialized training out of the school children's. Okay, under section 21 of the RTE Act, establish the school management committee in each school. Every school should have a school management committee that will be looking after the school. Okay, whether all the activities are being done properly, proper monitoring can be happen. Okay, so a single school management committee in a composite school has to be recommended. Okay, so these interventions are being done at various level under the RTE Act. Okay, we have to mobilize the community over here in order to oversee, in order to properly see and look how the schools are working, how you can provide their inputs over there, how you can strengthen the whole community over there. Okay, so how you are going to monitor schools at each and every at various levels. So this is the school management committee that is part of the RT under the RT. Then pre-primary education, what exactly we are providing under pre-primary education? We have to provide Anganwadi co-location in the primary school. Okay, so we have to collaborate with various ministry like Ministry of Department of Women and Child Development, like what exactly we can do regarding the nutrition, regarding their cognitive regarding their nutrition, regarding their cognitive development and everything. So here we need a help of Ministry of Department of Women and Child Development. Okay, so this is how the state should be aided in their attempt to establish pre-primary school. Then what about the vocational? So vocational education is very important, very important. And as we move to secondary and senior secondary and post secondary, it will improve your own employability. Okay, so there are a lot of vocation subject like using tools, equipment, labor. All these things has to be taught in various other fields. So you can find out in the National Skill Development Mission, you can find various type of vocations that are being there, where a student can enroll for them. They can have a occupational skills. Then sports and physical education, so there is a convergence with the department of the sports. Okay, so there will be a provision of sports and physical education at each school. That facility has to be improved at each school. So if we go ahead, so at least 1% of the schooling budget that has been released by the government should go onto the national component. National component means there are a lot of national programs that are being done by the government to improve the quality of education, to improve the assessment process, to improve the data management and digital education like NIEPA, NCERT, NCPCR, NIC, National Information Center. So at least 1% of the total budget should go onto the national level program. Okay, so technical support has to be provided. Okay, technical support group for monitoring the National Institute of Teacher Education has to be provided. Then infrastructure development like school construction, classrooms, strengthening of the BRC and CRC, toilet, drinking water, science and maths labs, all are to be properly constructed at the very high pace. And then how we can strengthen the teacher education, so SCERT, diets, which are the two important things. Then we have a BITE Block Institute, and we have a College of Teacher Education and Institute of Advanced Studies are there, which are focusing on the teachers education. Okay, so these are to be further strengthened, and more research has to be provided for teachers education. Okay, so then salary support for teacher educator and academic faculty in TEI has to be provided. Then SCERT and DIET teachers training also provide them with professional development. How you can keep on providing them with in-service training, pre-service training, in-service training, during the time of induction, and refresher training has to be provided from time to time, whether in a physical mode, whether either in a physical mode or in a virtual mode. Okay, then there has to be separate training has to be provided for principals and head teachers. Okay, then teacher education institutes are there. There should be a lot of programs and activities has to be conducted in order to improve the quality of the teachers. So that is why a special cell establishment. New diet has to be created where you have a lot of teachers are there. Okay, then you can create a national platform like Diksha portal is there. Okay, and technical assistance has to be provided under this whole process. Okay, so this is how the Samagra Shiksha is going to work in this whole field.